Hello, friends, and welcome to Kurt Berglund's Baseball World. Tonight is part 2 of a two-parter on the Baseball Sim Replay Classic. I'm going to do a demo of the game and show you I'm going to stop the game at some points and kind of show you how it works and why I like it so much. This is game 5 of a replay that I've just started of the 1974 Oakland A's season using Replay Classic Baseball. The A's at this point are 3-1 on the very, very, very young season. Having fun with it so far. It's going to keep going. They are in Kansas City. Playing the Kansas City Royals in the second of a 2-game series. The date is April 10th, 1974. The opposing pitchers in tonight's game are lefty Ken Holtzman for Alvin Dark's Oakland A's, and he'll be opposed by right-handed phenom Steve Busby. Hard thrower, and looked to be having a start to a sensational career, but arm miseries sidetracked what could have been real greatness for the Kansas City right-hander. So let's go to today's starting lineups and get into a demo of Replay Classic Baseball. Thanks for joining me. Upcoming stuff. Have a special on upcoming Here's the Pitch products, or newly available Here's the Pitch products, coming up on Saturday, and a very special authentic unboxing coming up on Saturday. Huge weekend on my channel. Be sure you check those out. And so there's your preview. In the description for this video is a link to channel membership. It's a huge month for channel members as well. A ton of stuff being given away free. Great time to get in on that. But you have to be a channel member. So the link to that is in the description for this video for you to check out. All right, now it's time for starting lineups. All right, for the visiting Oakland A's leading off, and this is the as-played lineup, my friends, because if we don't, heads explode all over this great land of ours. But we don't get every player in Replay Classic, and I know that makes heads explode. Manny Trio is actually, by the as-played lineup, supposed to be batting 9th and playing second base. But we don't have a Manny Trio card, so I'm going with Ted Kubiak instead. The lineup, other than that, is just as Alvin Dark wrote it out. Billy North leads off in center. Bert Campaneris bats second. At shortstop, Sal Bando bats third at third base. Reggie Jackson bats fourth. He's in right. Joe Rudi bats fifth. He's in left. Gene Tennis bats sixth. He is at first base. Darren Johnson bats seventh. He'll be the DH. Ray Fosse bats eighth. He'll catch. And Ted Kubiak, as promised, is batting ninth and playing second base. Ken Holtzman's on the mound. He's got an endurance of 6 innings, as you can see. The 29-year-old left-hander is 0-1 on my replay in the early going. All right, for Kansas City, they also do not have a purely as-played lineup. Their 9th place hitter is different. I'll get to him in a moment. Freddie Patek leads off at short. Jim Wolford bats second in left field. Cookie Rojas bats third at second base. I believe this is Jack McKeon's lineup. John Mayberry bats fourth at first. Amos Otis bats fifth in center. Fran Healy bats sixth at catcher. Vada Pinson bats seventh in right field. And I skipped a guy, which is always a bad idea. Paul Schall will bat 8th and play third base, and his card is nowhere to be found. So we're going to make another switch. And last but not least is Kurt Bavacqua, batting 9th. He'll be the DH. Frank White is going to bat 8th and play third base in the lineup for Kansas City tonight. All right, now we're ready. Now we're ready to go. Steve Busby has finished his warm-up tosses. A replay chart book for this season. You could use this one, book 3. Book 4 is another one you could use on this one. And they're pretty much the same. But I'll tell you why I like book 3. In the back is this wonderful one-page chart. They call it the Replay Ready Reference. It's a condensation of column 1 to column 6. And once you learn it, you got everything on one page. There's no chart flipping. It's right in front of you. It's a beautiful thing. All right. So we are ready to start. Billy North steps in the batter's box against Steve Busby. And here's our dice. The black die is for the pitcher card. The white die is for the batter card. And here we go with the delivery to North. So we go with the black to give us the column. So that's a 1 column, 2 on Busby, and a 2 row for North is a 3. 2 plus 3 is a strikeout, and we are underway in Kansas City with Steve Busby's first strikeout of the evening. Probably several more to come. Here's Campy. Busby deals to him, and Campy swings and hits a base hit to right. Veda Pinson collects it and gets it back in. Sal Bando will come to the plate. Busby the stretch, and the pitch to Bando is a ground ball hit by Bando. This one goes to White at third, and it's going to be off Frank White's glove. Everybody's going to be safe. Campy moves up to second. The 4 column on Replay Baseball are your fielding checks. So what happened here? Well, if we look at, if you get this trifold here, so this just tells, the F tells you it's for fielding. The 3 tells you here we're looking at Bando's 3 row in the 4 column. That's a 17. So a 17, but wait, we have to add Frank White's fielding rating, which is a 4 at third base. 17 plus 4 turns into a 21. It's a single off his glove. I'm sorry, we got to go back. It's a single off his glove for a 21. Runners advance 1 base. Oh, no, wait. We were playing at double play depth. Here we go. Single off his glove. Yeah, same thing. All right, so it's an infield hit for Bando. Reggie comes to the plate. Busby up there in a first inning jam. The stretch and the delivery to Reggie is hit to right and deep. Back goes Pinson, warning track, wall, and it's gone. Oakland leads 3-0. I'll show you how I got that. 6-6. See the APA connection here? Sort of a 66 connection. We got 2 on Busby's card for the 6 column. Then we look at Reggie's column for the 6, and we got an 11. So that makes 13. So if we look now on our 6 column for number 13, we get a home run off the outfield screen, and it's gone. Replay, 1 roll, classic replay especially, 1 roll, you've got your result. Here's the delivery from Busby to Rudy. Swung on by Joe. We got 2 on Busby's card. We have a 16, so that's 18. We look on the chart. It's hit to left and deep. Back a few steps is Jim Wolford. But he's got room, and he's got it for out number 2. Gene Tennis comes to the plate. Busby kicks and delivers, and Tennis strikes out. 1 is a 2 for Busby. 4 is a 2 for Tennis. 1 to 6 is a strikeout, and that retires the side. But in the first, the A's get 3 on a bomb from Mr. October. Before he was Mr. October, we go to the bottom of the first. It's Oakland 3 and Kansas City coming to bat. All right, so Holtzman now, his numbers will look different than Busby's because Busby was a power pitcher and Kenny Holtzman was not. So it's Patek leading off the delivery. So the 4 column tells us we're in the fielding check area. 3 is a ground ball to Bando. The 1 is a hard grounder. We add Bando's fielding rating, which in 1974 was a 3. And he scoops it up to his left and fires to Gene Tennis, and 1 down in the Royals first. Here's Jimmy Wolford. Holtzman kicks and delivers to him, and Wolford pops it up. We haven't looked at the 2 column yet, so we'll do that. It's a 3 for Holtzman, and the 6th row is a 5 for Wolford, so that's an 8. In the old charts, it's popped up. Drifting into foul territory is Ted Kubiak, and he's going to make the catch. Foul out 4 for out number 2 in the Royal first. Here's Cookie Rojas. Holtzman kicks and deals. And we haven't looked at the 3 column, so let's do that. The 3 column for Holtzman is a 4. The 6 is a 37. That makes 41. And he struck him out. And if I know Ken Holtzman, he got him with that big bender. Cookie goes down on strikes, and that'll retire the Royals 1-2-3 in inning number 1. We go to the second, and your score, Oakland 3 and Kansas City nothing. All right, here's Darren Johnson, Ray Fosse, Ted Kubiak, 7, 8, 9 for Alvin Dark, leading off against Busby in the second. And the pitch is swung on by Johnson and bounced to shortstop Freddie Patek. He's up with it. Throws to John Mayberry, and there's 1 down in the second. Ray Fosse up there now. Busby winds and deals to the Oakland catcher, and struck him out. He got him with the cheese. Gonna show you that as well here. We haven't looked at the 1 column yet. Busby's got a 2 in the 1 column. Fosse has a 4 in the 4 row. 2 plus 4 is 6. So if we look here, 6, everything 2 to 6 in the 1 column is a strikeout. That easy. These boards get memorized very quickly and really even speed up already very smooth gameplay. Kubiak's up there now, the switch hitter against Busby batting left, and it's swung on. And we'll take a look at column number 5. It's a 2 for Busby. It's a 2 for Kubiak. That's a 4. And that's a ground ball to Cookie Rojas at second base. He gloves it and throws to Mayberry, and that will retire Oakland in inning number 2. We've played an inning and a half, and Oakland leads it 3-0 on the strength of a first inning Reggie Jackson home run. Ken Holtzman takes a stroll out to the mound for inning number 2 against the Royals. He'll face Mayberry, Otis, and Healy. 4-5-6. The pitch is swung on by Mayberry. This one is bounced to Campy at short. He charges, throws on the run to Tennis, and there's 1 down in the Kansas City second. Here's Otis. The wind and the delivery by Holtzman to Amos is swung on and hit to center. Can of corn for Billy North, and he's got it for out number 2. Fran Healy up there now. Holtzman kicks and delivers, and a base hit for Healy. A single to center. Billy North collects it and gets it back in. It's a 2-out single for KC, and it brings up right fielder Veda Pinson. Holtzman the stretch and the pitch to Veda. Is strike 3 looking. He got him on a bender, an old jelly leg. We are done in the Kansas City second. They strand 1. We go to the third. It's Oakland 3, Kansas City nothing. Look at the gameplay on this game. One roll resolves the outcomes, and charts are easy to read. It's just smooth as silk. All right, Busby to North, the pitch. Swung on by North. This is a base hit for Billy North leading off the third inning. Now we have to do sort of a action chart check here of sorts. We're going to roll and see what happens. We have a 3. It's inning 1 to 6, and the batter will be caught stealing. So Billy North takes off for second. Fran Healy fires down to Cookie Rojas, who applies the tag, and North is out, trying to steal second base. Now it's Campaneris, who singled and scored in the first inning. The pitch. Swung on by Campy. He checks his swing. And first base umpire Jose Feliciano says no swing. So Campy gets a walk. With 1 out, he trots down to first. And here's Sal Bando. Busby the stretch and the pitch to Captain Sal. Hey, struck him out. The upstairs gas gets Bando. 4 strikeouts for Busby in the early going. And here's Reggie. Busby the stretch and the delivery to Reggie. This is a ground ball to Patek at short. He's going to go the short way to Cookie Rojas covering second. And the Oakland A's are done in the third. We go to the bottom of 3. And it's Oakland 3 and Kansas City nothing. It'll be White, Bavacqua, and Patek coming up 8-9-1 in the Royals' third inning. The pitch from Holtzman is swung on by White and hit to first. Gene Tennis will take it to the bag unassisted for out number 1. Kurt Bavacqua up there now. Holtzman kicks and deals, and Bavacqua draws a walk. He checks his swing, and Jose Feliciano at first base just shakes his head, says no swing, and Bavacqua goes down to first. Ken Holtzman doesn't like that call. And Freddie Patek comes to the plate, 1 on, 1 out for the Royals in the third. Holtzman the stretch, and the pitch to Patek is swung on and hit to Campy at short. He is a 2, and they're going to get the force out as he flips to Kubiak. Kubiak's relay to first, not in time. Patek beats the wrap at first. And he's on with 2 outs now for Jimmy Wolford. Should he reach, Cookie Rojas will bat. Holtzman the stretch and the pitch to Wolford. And that's going to be a base hit for Wolford to left. Around second goes Patek. He's coming to third. Rudy's throw goes to second. And there's Royals at the corners now for Cookie Rojas. But there's 2 outs. Holtzman the stretch and the delivery to Cookie. Swung on by Rojas, hit to Campy. He is going to flip to Kubiak, and that is going to retire the Royals in inning number 3. We go to the fourth, and it's Oakland 3 and Kansas City nothing. Rudy, Tennis, and Darren Johnson coming up in the Oakland fourth. It's just smooth as silk. I cannot tell you. Let's take a look at the strategy charts briefly. There are 2 bunting charts in this book. The sacrifice play is the regular sacrifice bunt. You can choose to do that. The infield can be back or halfway or in. And then You also have the option to go with the squeeze bunt, and here's what that chart looks like. Also, fielder back, halfway, or in. There is a hit and run chart. Want to go with that? Keep yourself out of those inning ending and soul crushing and rally killing double plays. And in this book, there are two rare play charts depending upon your base runner locations. All right. Continuing with the ball game. Here's Joe Rudi up there now. Busby kicks and delivers. Rudi swings, and he hits this one to Frank White at third. He gloves it by the third base bag and fires across the diamond to John Mayberry for out number 1. Gene Tennis now, 0 for 1. The pitch to Gino is swung on. This is hit to left and deep. Back goes Wolford to the track. He's got it for out number 2. One more biscuit for breakfast, and Gino goes deep, but not this time. Here's Darren Johnson, 0 for 1. Busby winds and deals, and Busby blows away Darren Johnson for strikeout number 5 on the evening for the Kansas City right-hander. We've played 3.5. It's Oakland 3 and Kansas City nothing. Mayberry, Otis, and Healy, 4, 5, 6, coming up in the KC 4th. Holtzman kicks and delivers, and he strikes out Mayberry. It's the broccoli cauliflower medley. Gas. 1 down in the 4th. Amos Otis. Holtzman winds and delivers. And a base hit for Amos Otis. This goes to center field. Drops in front of Billy North. He gets it back in. Otis aboard, and Fran Healy comes to the plate. And I'm going to put on the hit and run and show you how that works. As the I'm going to use this chart, I think. Yeah, I'll use this one. This goes with the trifold. Hit and run numbers. You got to look. Pitchers get a special hit and run rating. So do the hitters. Here's our hit and run chart. And here we go. Holtzman the stretch. There goes Otis. And Healy takes a whack at this one. It's going to be a 4 on Holtzman, so that's a 1. A 6 on Healy, that'll be a 25. So that's a 26. Healy lifts a fly ball to left. Joe Rudi pounds the glove and makes the catch for out number 2. Retreating to first is Amos Otis. The hit and run doesn't work. Here's Veda Pinson. 2 outs and Healy on at first base. I'm sorry, Otis on at first base. The delivery to Veda is swung on. This is hit to Kubiak at second. Ted gloves it to his left, plants and throws to Gene Tennis at first, and that'll retire Kansas City in the 4th. We go to the 5th. It's Oakland 3 and Kansas City nothing. Busby will face Fossey, Kubiak, and North, 8-9-1. Busby kicks and delivers to Ray Fossey, and he strikes out the Oakland catcher. 1 down in the 5th. Here's Kubiak. Busby whirls and deals. This is a ground ball to Rojas at second. Cookie cuts it off from going up the middle, plants and throws to Mayberry for out number 2. 7 in a row retired now by Busby. The pitch to North with 2 outs is swung on by Billy, and it's popped up. In short left field, Freddie Patek is under it, and he's got it for out number 3. We're halfway through this one, and your score is Oakland 3 and Kansas City nothing. Holtzman will face White, Bavacqua, and Patek. 8-9-1 in the 5th, the pitch. Swung on by White and missed on a bender. Strikeout number 4 for Holtzman. 1 down in the KC 5th. Here's Bavacqua. Dirty Kurt is at the plate. The pitch is popped up. Sal Bando on the infield dirt is calling and taking for out number 2. Patek up there now. Holtzman the wind and the delivery to the 0 for 2 Freddie Patek. And hey, struck him out. Number 5 for Holtzman. That's a bunch in a game for him. 5 in 5 innings for the Oakland left-hander. We go to the 6th, and it's Oakland 3, Kansas City nothing. Campy, Bando, and Jackson coming up for Oakland in the 6th. Busby winds and deals to the Oakland shortstop. And Campy hits a base hit to right. And he is going to take a chance for a double. Here's how that works. On the 26th, it's a long single to right field. Runners advance 2 bases. Batter can try for a double. Well, he's going to second, and second base umpire Ronnie Millsap is going to be on the call. And Veda Pinson guns him down. Campy slides, but the tag applied by Freddie Patek retires the Oakland shortstop, getting adventurous on the bases. 9-6 goes the putout, and here's Sal Bando. Busby winds and deals. See, there's no calculations. There's no big charts. You're not rolling 6 times to resolve it. There's not directions that nobody on God's green earth understands. It's just smooth gameplay. Bando swings and hits this one to center and deep. Back goes Amos, warning track, wall, and it's gone. 4-0 Oakland on some big booms by those sluggers from Oakland. All right, here's Reggie. The pitch. Swung on by Reggie and a base hit to center. Maybe Busby's losing it a little bit here. 3 consecutive base hits. That's going to get the Kansas City bullpen going. Let's see who they got. We can consult our roster card right here. And I think, well, they're going to get a right-hander up. How about Doug Bird? Doug Bird sounds like a good choice. He starts throwing in the bullpen. And here's Joe Rudi. Busby, the stretch, and the pitch is swung on by Rudi. And this is popped up. Cookie Rojas under it and takes it for out number 2. I believe I talked about the infield. Well, there would be an infield cutout by each base, but of course by 74, KC had that turf installed. Here is Tennis with 2 outs and Reggie at first. Busby the stretch, and Gino hits this one. He ate his biscuit. It's to left and deep. Wolford back. It's gone. Another bomb for the Oakland A's. It's 6-0, and Busby has been knocked out of the box. But I'm going to leave him in for one moment to show you something. When he gets tired, and 6 runs will do it, he flips to his B side, which is, of course, the side where you get to hear Penny Lane. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a 45. It's the B side of his cards. This is where we go for fatigue. I'm going to leave him in for one more batter so you can see how that works. Johnson's 0 for 2, and the pitch is swung on by Darren. This one is hit to Patek at short. He throws to Mayberry, and the side is retired in the 6th, but not before Oakland, on the strength of 2 more home runs, adds to their lead. We've played 5.5, and your score is Oakland 6 and Kansas City nothing. Wolford, Rojas, and Mayberry coming up in the KC 6th. Now, ordinarily, Holtzman would be fatigued after the 6th inning, but if the shutout continues, he will not be. The pitch by Wolford is a base hit to right field. Now here, Wolford could challenge Reggie's arm and try and get a double, but he's down 6 runs, so he's not going to get adventurous. Holtzman, the stretch and the pitch is swung on and hit to left. Can of corn for Joe Rudi. He's got it for out number 1. Retreating to first is Wolford. Here's Big John Mayberry. Holtzman, the stretch and the pitch to Big John is hit to tennis at first. And that is going to be a base hit off Gino's glove. So Mayberry is safe at first. Wolford safe at second. There's 2 on with 1 out. Here's Amos. The stretch by Holtzman and the pitch to Amos Otis is swung on by Amos and drilled to center and deep. It's going to get over Billy North's head and 1 hop the wall. Wolford around third. He's going to score. Are they going to waive Mayberry? Let's find out. Mayberry is a 3 base runner. Billy North is a 4 defensively. So now we got to hit a chart. And here is our third base coaching chart right here. He's a 4, Mayberry's a 3, so we need a 4 or less, and Mayberry will score. And he does. So it's a double by Otis that scores 2 runs for the Royals, and that's going to get the Oakland bullpen going. Everybody is rested, so 6th inning seems like a good time for John Blue Moon Odom and Daryl Knowles to get cooking. Lefty-righty double-barreled action. Just the way Alvin Dark likes it with his barbecue ribs that he eats whenever he goes to Kansas City. Here is Fran Healy, 1 for 2. Holtzman, the stretch and the pitch to Fran is swung on. This will be a 3-5 is a 34. That's going to be a double for Healy down that right field line. Reggie's got to go dig it out of the corner. Meanwhile, Amos Otis around third. He's going to score. It's 6-3 now. And Ken Holtzman is actually leaking oil out on the mound. Here's Veda Pinson 0 for 2. The stretch by Holtzman and the delivery to Veda is popped up. Bert Campaneris in short center is calling and taking for out number 2. Healy will hold at second, and here's Frank White. Holtzman, the stretch and the pitch to Frank, and popped up by Frank. Ted Kubiak calling, and he's got it for out number 3. That'll retire the Royals in inning number 6, but they have a good inning. They get 3 on 4 hits. They leave 1. We've played 6 complete, and your score, Oakland 6 and Kansas City 3. And we're going to get a new Kansas City pitcher now. It's going to be the aforementioned Doug Bird. Taking over on the hill, he's a sinker baller, and you can see he can face 7 batters before fatigue may become an issue for him. He was a youngster, he was just a baby, 24 in 1974, so he'll face Fosse, Kubiak, and North 891 in the Oakland order. Ray is 0 for 2. Bird winds and deals, and Fosse swings and lifts this one to left. Over by the foul line is Jim Wolford, and he's got it for out number 1. Ted Kubiak up there. Oakland is looking for insurance, or as they say in central Illinois, insurance. The pitch. Base hit for Kubiak. It's a single to left. He goes oppo on Doug Bird. Jim Wolford gets it back in. 1 on with 1 out for Oakland here in the 7th. Bird the stretch, and the pitch to Billy North is swung on by North. He drills this one to left. Wolford back a few steps. He's got it. For out number 2, retreating to first is Kubiak, and that'll bring up Campy. Bando would be next. The pitch. Campy swings, and he hits this one to Rojas at second. Cookie scoops it up and flips to Mayberry, and that'll retire Oakland in inning number 7. It's time to stretch them out in Kansas City with your score. Oakland 6 and Kansas City 3. We are now flipping, I'm not pregnant. I am now flipping Holtzman to the B side because he's got his fatigue limit of 6. He's not throwing a shutout, so he gets fatigued here, and I'm going to try and get a few more outs out of him. In the meantime, Blue Moon Odom and Daryl Knowles are ready in the Oakland bullpen. It'll be Bavacqua, Patek, and Wolford coming up in the bottom of the 7th. Kenny Holtzman deals to Kurt Bavacqua, and Kurt hits one to Kubiak on 1 hop. Ted throws to Tennis, and there's 1 down in the Royal 7th. Here's Patek. Holtzman kicks and deals. Swung on by Patek, and he struck him out. Number 6 for Holtzman. Gave him that dead fish changeup, and now Jimmy Wolford. Holtzman deals to Wolford, and he walked him. A 2-out walk here in the 7th brings up Rojas, and this may be Holtzman's last batter. Holtzman the stretch, the pitch to Cookie. Base hit for Rojas. Let's see what happens here. Stopping at second will be Wolford. That's going to bring up the tying run to the plate in Big John Mayberry. And that's going to bring Alvin Dark out of the dugout, and that's going to end Ken Holtzman's evening. It's going to be Daryl Knowles. Holtzman goes 6 2/3 in this one. He allows 2, 4, 6, 8 base hits. He walked 2 batters, struck out 6. Allowed 3 runs so far. They're all earned, but Wolford at second and Rojas at first are his responsibility. Holtzman is in line for the win if the Oakland bullpen can hang on. Blue Moon Odom continues to throw in the bullpen. He is now joined by left-hander Paul Lindblad. Knowles is on. In 1974, Daryl Knowles was in 44 games, good for 53 innings of work. Knowles the stretch, pitching to the lefty John Mayberry. Lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch swung on by Big John and hit to Campy at short. He flips to Kubiak, and the Royals are done in the 7th. We go to the 8th with your score, Oakland 6 and Kansas City 3. Knowles does a nice job of getting out of that mess. Doug Bird strolls out for the 8th inning. He'll face Bando, Jackson, and Rudy, the meat of the Oakland order here in the 8th. The pitch from Bird to Bando is a ground ball hit to Mayberry at first. He gloves it to his right and feeds Bird covering for out number 1. Now it's Reggie at 2 for 3. Bird kicks and delivers. Reggie swings. He grounds this one to Patek at short. Freddie cuts it off from going up the middle, plants and fires to Mayberry, and they get Reggie by a step at first. 2 down now and nobody on for Joe Rudy. Bird kicks and delivers to Rudy, and he struck him out on a sinker. That will retire the A's in the 8th. We've played 7.5, and your score is Oakland 6 and Kansas City 3. Blue Moon Odom has taken a seat in the bullpen for Oakland, and he has been replaced by right-hander Raleigh Fingers. So it's Fingers and Lindblad throwing in the Oakland bullpen now behind lefty Daryl Knowles, who is out for his first inning of work here in the bottom of the 8th. Otis is 2 for 3. The pitch from Knowles. Ground ball hit by Amos to Kubiak at second. Ted gloves it. Throws to Tennis for out number 1. Fran Healy's had a big day. He's 2 for 3. Knowles kicks and deals to Fran. And it's a base hit to left field. Drops in front of Joe Rudy, who collects it and gets it back in. That's Fran Healy's 3rd hit of the game. He hasn't done that since T-ball. Here's Veda. Knowles the stretch, and the pitch to Veda is ball 4. Daryl Knowles could get wild, and there's 2 on now with 1 out in the 8th. Here's Frank White. Frank is 0 for 3. This might be Knowles' last hitter. The stretch by Daryl and the pitch. Swung on and missed by Frank White. Knowles got him with the upstairs cheese. First strikeout and for Knowles, and there's 2 down here in the 8th, and now it's Kurt Bevacqua. Freddie Patek would be next. The pitch by Knowles to Bevacqua. Base hit for Bevacqua. This goes to right field. Let's see if they're going to wave Healy. He's coming home. Reggie's throw is just a tick late. Healy scores, and on the throw, Pinson goes to third. Bevacqua goes to second. It's 6-4, and the tying runs are in scoring position, and here comes Alvin Dark. He has seen enough of Daryl Knowles for one evening. And we're going to get Raleigh Fingers, who's going to come on here in the 8th and try and put out the fire. Knowles goes 1 inning. He allows 2 hits, walks 1, strikes out 1, and allows a run to this point, although the tying runs on base are his responsibility. Fingers will face Patek. Of course, Raleigh was the main man, along with Lindblad, was the main man in the Oakland bullpen in 74. Righty-righty matchup here. The stretch by Fingers and the pitch to Patek. Hey, struck out little Freddie, and that's going to retire the side. The Royals leave the tying runs in scoring position, but they do get a run in the bottom of the 8th on 2 hits. We go to the 9th. And your score is Oakland 6 and Kansas City 4. Doug Bird is going to start the inning. He is fatigued right now. In the Kansas City bullpen, there is action behind Doug Bird. It is Joe Horner and Lindy McDaniel. Lefty-righty double-barreled action for KC. Gonna try and get Bird through this inning. 6-4 Oakland. We're in the 9th. The pitch to Gino. Swung on by Tennis and hit to Rojas at second. Cookie throws to Mayberry, and there's 1 away in the Oakland 9th. Here's Darren Johnson. 0 for 3. The pitch by Bird. Swung on by Johnson and hit to first. Mayberry's going to take it to the bag, unassisted for out number 2. Now Ray Fosse, 0 for 3. The pitch. Swung on by Ray. This is hit to Rojas at second. Cookie flips to Mayberry, and it's a 1-2-3 9th inning. Bird with 3 good innings of relief. Now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Raleigh is strolling out there. Action in the Oakland bullpen has stopped. It's all on Raleigh to finish this one. He'll face Wolford, Rojas, and Mayberry, the 2, 3, 4 hitters in the Kansas City order. This has turned into quite a ball game here as the Royals have mounted a comeback after they were behind 6-0. All right, Raleigh deals to Wolford. Here is the first pitch. Is a swung on and hit to Campy at short. From the hole, Campy fires to Tennis, and there's 1 down in the Royals' 9th inning. Here's Cookie Rojas at 1 for 4. Fingers deals to Cookie. Ground ball to Kubiak at second. Ted gloves it, throws to Tennis. There's 2 away. And that'll make John Mayberry the last chance saloon in this one. Amos Otis would be next. Fingers deals to Mayberry. And he struck him out to end the ball game with an exclamation mark. Let's give you the totals on this one. Wow. For the visiting and victorious Oakland A's, 6 runs, 9 base hits, and they committed no errors. Yeah, that's right. Yep. And the homestanding and vanquished Kansas City Royals, 4 runs, 10 base hits. They had opportunities, and they committed no errors. The winning pitcher is Ken Holtzman. He levels his record at 1-1. The save goes to Raleigh Fingers. That is Raleigh's 3rd on my replay. And the loss goes to Steve Busby. So that is a demo game. Kind of talked you through what the books look like, the chart books, how the procedures work. 1 die roll for almost every at-bat. Sets replay apart from so many others, number 1. And number 2, the instructions are easy. There's not a million charts. There's not calculations. You're not taking your socks and shoes off to figure out, okay, is he safe or out? You're not wondering if you got the instructions right in the first place. It's just easy. The stats work. The game flows. Replay Classic Baseball. You can get your hands on a set. You can download your charts that you need from the Replay website. Or you can buy a chart book. Either way, and get rolling. It's just a fantastic, fantastic game. Thank you for being with me, and thank you for checking out the Replay Baseball sort of endorsement that I've been giving. 2 nights ago we started. Tonight we conclude. Let me know if you'd like to see more replay on the channel. I hope you have a great evening. So long, everybody.